Hi. So, homeschooling. Anybody homeschooling? Trying to work? Run a business? Yep. So, a lot of people have been messaging me from, through the after, and also just from life, because it's fairly common knowledge that I used to be a teacher. It's also very common knowledge that I home educate, so not homeschool, but I home educate, although my husband works full time, so a lot of it falls to me. We home educate our children. Or now that we're in Vietnam, we've been changing it a bit to world school, which is very exciting. It's a bit strange after having spent, the last 5 years watching Instagram world schoolers and then finding ourselves on a beach going, we're looking at crabs, it's homeschool or home education. And so a lot of people have been messaging me like, how do you do this? I'm trying to get so much done and they don't want to do their stuff. Help. So this is a departure from normal, but I think it's also just what people need, and that's what I'm here for. So I just have a few things to say. As home educators, we are in this social network of home educators because, like seeks like, and when you start off home educating, it's frankly terrifying because you know that you're doing the right thing for your family. I mean, nobody chooses to not send their children to school without bloody good reason, and hours of research. And I mean, for me, my decision was made when I did my master's in education, and I mean that's what 8-9 years of research that went into that decision, plus a lot of other things and a lot of TED Talks, talking to people, my experience in schools, my husband's experience in schools, our hopes and dreams and wanting to travel, and is that compatible with schooling, and all of that. So this does relate to you if you're homeschooling your kids and pulling your hair out, promise. So basically what happens with people who decide to home educate their kids is this. They do loads and loads of research, and then they just, one day their kid is not at school. And I think that's the point where you're like, oh, I'm doing it. Like the first day, I remember the first day of reception, everybody else's kids going to school and mine not. And I was like, oh my goodness, it's happening. And, that's both liberating and petrifying at the same time. And then so this is what happens. Everybody wobbles. Whether you've taken your kids out age 7, whether you've taken your kids out age 13, whether there's been some, bullying, or they have special needs that's not been met, whether you come to it from from the start, home education as the choice, as the first choice, everybody wobbles. Because it's slightly different to it's completely different to what lots of people do, and you have to be strong in yourself. So this is the process that we all, at different stages, in different ways, go through. 1, how the hell am I going to do this? I can't do this. I'm not qualified. Now, I say that as a former police staff member who worked with really challenging young offenders at risk of radicalisation. I mean, I can handle those kids, but I'm freaking out about my own 4-year-old. Also normal. A teacher with experience in London, Bradford, Bingley, somebody with classroom experience of managing, and Lincoln, and supporting, and Leicester, children in different areas, in different ways, and getting them to learn, and being accountable, still wobbled. Somebody with a master's in education still wobbles. So if you are worrying whether you are good enough to teach your kids, you are normal. And you are good enough, just to get that in. So yeah, if other people wobble, you can wobble, it's fine. And then they have their I don't really know how to do schooling or learning, so I'm going to take school stuff and I'm going to give that to my kids. And then the kids go like that. They might do a few exercises, something might take them, and they might get really into the, 7 times tables or building it or whatever. Or they might just chuck it at you, effectively, or just refuse to do it, or scribble on it, or do it for 3 minutes, and then the second you turn your back to make a cup of tea, they're back on Minecraft, or they're trying to crawl out, the back door because they want to play. This is normal. And then what we do is we go, and I'm speaking for the home ed community, and obviously I can't, but this is just common from my experience and me going to home education groups with seasoned home educators and going, okay, I'm freaking out, help. It seems that everybody's been through some version of this. And then we go, okay, so actually replicating school at home doesn't work because it's not that place. And so we try something different, and it becomes more child-led. We, as the adults, take our foot off the gas a little bit. And we see children are counting cars, and we go, oh, so, okay, there's 1, 2, 3. There's another 1, 2, 3 in that car park. How many has that got together? Oh, let's just write that in a way where we can say, oh, look, 2 lots of 3, 2 times 3, it's 6. Wow. And then all of a sudden, 40 minutes has gone by, and your kids learnt their 3 times tables. And you sit back and you're like, we did that. So we all go through it, and you will go through it too. So if you're going through, Wobbles, if you're struggling with like forcing the work or trying to get them back and negotiating and arguing, I might not have all the answers for you, but I want you to know that your experience is normal. If you haven't chosen this path of educating your children at home and sort of like wedging in your work around it, because this is what the home ed community do. We sometimes we take our kids to work, or we stay up all night and we do it. I have Saturday nights where I basically work all night, because that enables me to be at home with my children, and this is in the week. And this is a choice that I've made. And if you haven't made that choice and it's been forced upon you by the world and COVID and the situation and government and lockdowns, you have a right to feel a bit resentful about that. And you have a right to, maybe go to bed early and have a sulk or a cry, or to ring your sister or anybody, get on the mom's WhatsApp group and complain. You have a right to do that. And also, I'd just like you to know that what you are doing is good enough, and you don't have to put that much pressure on yourself or on the kids, because it will all be okay. They will start learning of their own accord at some point. Keep the faith and just foster connection, because that's what they need more than academics right now. I'm going to do another post today about my Neutralise the Volcano hour. The name for that came out of basically the sheer volume of mums and dads who have messaged me and said, I feel like a volcano, I'm about to erupt. What do I do right now? So this is people who, I have my 6-week program, and we go on a journey, and it is just bonkers powerful, and people are learning about themselves, about their children, releasing old hurts, healing wounds, developing their relationship with their children as a result of working on themselves and becoming happier people in the process. And some people are there, and some people are like, steam coming out their ears, I need help. So if that is you, and you're not in a place to do a whole program, and you just want somebody with teaching experience who has done homeschool / home education for ages, like 3 years, and I know some people have been doing it for like 20 years, but and has classroom experience, so you know what it's like to be the teacher on the other side. I know what messages are going to be being sent home. I know what the pressures of attainment are like. I understand. And a mom, and someone with a master's, and somebody who can support you emotionally. And we come out with, at the end, we work out what issues you have right now, today, the hair on fire things, and I can give you techniques to basically solve them, and to go a long, long way towards stabilizing your household, neutralizing the volcano, and having a much happier, calmer, connected experience of life right now. Because at the end of the day, love is what is going to see us through. And if love is getting squashed by stress, there's somebody to help you. Okay, I'll put on a post and I'll put the link. So I would love to speak to you. See you soon. Bye.